What can make a marriage work? First key to have a happy marriage is having an emotionally intelligent marriage. Happily married couples aren't more intelligent, more affluent, or more psychologically competent than others. But in their day to day lives, they have a dynamic that keeps their negative thoughts and feelings about each other from overwhelming their positive ones. As a result, they have what we call an emotionally intelligent marriage. The more emotionally intelligent a couple, the better able they are to understand, honor, and respect each other and their marriage, and the more likely that they will live indeed a happily ever after marriage. The good news is that the emotional intelligence is a skill that a couple can learn. What are the specifics of emotional intelligence in couples? Emotionally intelligent couples are intimately familiar with each other's life. These couples have made a bunch of cognitive room for their marriage. They remember the significant events in each other's history and keep updating their information as the facts and feelings of their partner's life change. They know each other's goals in life, each other's worries, and each other's hopes. On the other hand, if you don't know someone, how can you genuinely love them? Next, respect and admiration are two of the most crucial elements in rewarding and long-lasting romance. Although happily married couples may feel driven to distraction at times by their partner's personality flaws, they will feel that the person they married is worthy of praise and respect. When this sense is completely missing from a marriage, unfortunately, the relationship cannot be recharged. At first, people who are married like each other. If they didn't, they wouldn't be married. But fondness and admiration can be breakable unless you remain mindful of how important they are to the soul of any good marriage. By simply reminding yourself of your partner's positive qualities, even as you wrestle with each other's imperfections, you can maintain your admiration and respect for your partner and prevent a happy marriage from declining. Fondness and admiration are antidotes for contempt. If you maintain a sense of respect for your partner, you are less likely to act disgusted with them when in the middle of a fight with them. If your mutual fondness and admiration have been completely destroyed, your marriage is in an alarming situation. Without fundamental belief that your partner is worthy of honor and respect, where is the foundation for any rewarding relationship? Another key to a happy marriage is turning toward each other instead of turning away from each other. When couples engage in lots of dialogues and chit-chats, you can be sure that they will stay happily married. What's happening in these brief exchanges is that the couple is connecting. They are turning toward each other. Each time you let your partner know they are valued during the struggle of everyday life, it keeps your marriage alive and recharged. One example is when you leave a warm and lovely voicemail to your partner if you know that they are having a bad day. Another example is when your partner tells you one day that he had the strangest dream last night. So you say, I am in a big rush, but tell me about it now so we can talk about it tonight, instead of saying, I don't have time in this instance. This way, you are choosing to turn toward your partner rather than away. In couples who divorce or live together unhappily, such small moments of connection are rare. The reason for this good marriage differing outcome is, as John Gottman, one of our pioneers in couple therapy, puts it, that partners who turn toward each other rather than away from each other, they put money in their emotional bank account. They build up emotional savings that can serve as a cushion when times get rough and they are faced with significant life stress or conflict. Because they have kept up all of this fondness and admiration for each other, they can maintain a positive sense of each other and their community, even during hard times. The biggest payoff from this emotional bank account isn't just protection when the couple is stressed. Turning toward your partner in little ways is also a key to long-lasting romance. Many people think that the secret to reconnecting with their partner is a candlelit dinner or a romantic vacation. But the real secret is to turn toward each other in little ways every day. A romantic night out really turns up the heat only when a couple has kept their marriage light burning by staying in touch in little ways. Now, let's look at another key point to a happy marriage. Studies show that happiest, most stable marriages in the long run are those where the partner treat each other with respect. Do not resist power sharing and decision making with them. In times of disagreement, these partners actively search for common ground rather than insisting getting their way. Marriages can survive plenty of flashes of fights and conflict this way. These marriages work so well because they have a firm foundation for compromising. After all, the better able you are to listen to your partner and what she has to say or he has to say, the more likely it is that you will be able to develop a solution or approach to a problem that satisfies you both. In an intimate, loving, romantic relationship, it just doesn't work for either of you to get things all your way all the time, even if you're convinced that you're right. This approach would create such unjustness and mistreatment that the marriage would definitely decline. Another key to a happy marriage is to learn how to communicate with your partner more effectively and clearly, especially during a disagreement and conflict. For instance, when you get upset or hurt with your partner, complain instead of criticizing and blaming your partner. Make statements that start with I instead of you. Phrases starting with I are usually less likely to be critical and to make the listener defensive than statements starting with you. For example, instead of saying you are not listening to me, say I would like it if you would listen to me. Instead of saying you just don't care about me, say that I'm feeling neglected. Keep in mind that your discussion will be far more successful if your words focus on how you are feeling rather than accusing your partner. Describe what is happening. Do not judge. Instead of accusing or blaming, describe what you see. For example, instead of saying you never watched the baby, say I seem to be the only one chasing after the baby today. Again, this will help prevent your partner from feeling attacked and becoming defensive. Be clear. Do not expect your partner to be a mind reader. For example, instead of saying you left the room a total mess, say I would appreciate it if you would clean your stuff in the room. Instead of saying would you take care of the baby for once, say please change the baby's diaper and give her bottle. Be polite. Add phrases such as please and I would appreciate it if. Be appreciative. If your partner has at some point handled this situation better, then make your request within an appreciation of what your partner did right in the past and how much you miss that now. For example, instead of saying you never have time for me anymore, say remember how we used to go out every Saturday night? I loved spending so much time alone with you. And it felt so nice knowing that you enjoyed being with me too. Let's start doing that again. Also, do not store things up. It's hard to remain calm and affectionate when you're ready to explode with upsets and hurts. So don't wait too long before bringing up an issue. Otherwise, it will just escalate in your mind and your heart. And lastly, during an argument, if you sense you are too agitated, stop the discussion. If you keep going, you will find yourself exploding at your partner or imploding, neither of which will help you get where you want to be. It will help declining the marriage instead. So the only reasonable strategy is to let your partner know that you are feeling flooded and need to take a break. That break should last at least 20 minutes, since it will be that long before your body can calm down. It would help if you avoided thoughts of resentments and victimhood during this time. Spend your time doing something soothing and distracting, like listening to music or exercising, walking. Once you've calmed yourself, you can benefit your relationship greatly if you then take some time to calm each other. Of course, this can be pretty difficult to do if you're feeling very angry or hurt, but the result can be so impressive that it's worth trying. Remember, only do this after you've already spent 20 minutes calming down your own and on your own. Soothing your partner is enormously beneficial to a relationship because it's a form of reverse conditioning. In other words, if you frequently have the experience of being calmed by your partner, you will stop seeing your partner as a trigger of stress. Instead, you associate them with feeling relaxed, calm, and happy. This automatically increases the positivity in your relationship. Also, remember, you don't need to wait for tense situations to use this exercise. Soothing each other regularly is a beautiful way to prevent future flooding and generally enriches your marriage. There are many different ways to calm your partners. What matters most is that your partner chooses the method and enjoys it. Okay, that's what I wanted to point out today. And next time I will talk about coping with typical solvable problems in marriage, such as issues with money, work, in-laws, and sex. If you like to learn more about each topic I talked about today in more detail and do some exercises in that regard, I highly recommend the book The 7 Principles for Making the Marriage Work by John Gottman and Nan Silver. I hope you all have a fantastic day and we'll talk soon.